The Federal Reserve's decision not to cut rates shows blank.
We all know I'm a dumb one, especially on this show, Tiana being an actually trained economist. Why don't you take lead and I can try and scramble and put some thoughts together here?
It shows everything is paused until there is clarity on what the hell is going on with the tariffs. So to Trump's credit, his first full month in office, February, produced great inflation reports, right? And in part, you had inflation not only halve from January to February, but specifically because of things that Trump did, right? There were 100 more oil and gas rigs in operation from November to February of this year. And that is in large part because of Trump policy. It's giving the green
red
light.
Tape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that didn't even include the reduction in egg prices, which are down 22% from the peak. So once that gets added in there, that's going to be a huge value add for that inflation number. But 1 month does not a trend make. The Fed historically likes to see at least 3 good months of things going in the right direction. But Jerome Powell said it outright. We can't do anything because we don't know the inflationary impact of the tariffs. I was talking to a very smart investor who knows everyone in the Republican Wall Street world. And there are fears that we will actually get a negative Q1 of GDP growth because so many people are holding off making large durable goods purchases, expanding, because they don't know, are we only tariffing final goods? Or if you're sending over a car part to Canada, is that being tariffed, right? No one knows yet. And that's a lot of the mess you're seeing in the stock market. The China tariffs aren't really driving the markets downward because everyone had already priced them in. There was an understanding we are decoupling from China. All these companies have already brought in factories and they're continuing to try and do so. It's Mexico, Canada, EU, reciprocal tariffs. Christian, I think people don't understand each country has a different menu of tariffs for the goods. And they theoretically aren't supposed to discriminate too much against other specific countries unless you already have a free trade agreement. Because of that, if Trump is doing reciprocal tariffs, let's say Colombia tariffs pineapples.
The country, not the university. Just
the country.
At home. Yeah.
Let's just say they tariff pineapples at 15%, but oranges at 10%. If Trump is matching reciprocal tariffs item to item, country to country, that would require 2.3 million distinctive levies.
It's a lot.
What a disaster that makes for if you're at the border and you're factoring, you're debating what to make orders of. Oh, let me look up the menu of 2.3 million options. What business can operate in that environment?
I mean, it's really the opposite of their overriding, sort of pro-growth, allegedly, strategy. Like, we want to slash red tape. That hinders innovation, hinders growth. This is the opposite. It's making it more complicated for these American firms to figure out what they want to do down the line. Again, economically, no notes. I've got nothing for you. I see this as sort of a little bit of political gamesmanship here. We've heard a lot about how Donald Trump is steamrolling Congress. He's trying to put his thumb on the scale over at judiciary. It seems like Jerome Powell and the Fed, an independent organization, are willing to stand up to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So basically, he doesn't have a stranglehold over the entire, Washington, D.C. bureaucratic apparatus like he, A, might thought he had, and B, specifically wants. I mean, we've heard from the White House for at least a month, people like Peter Navarro, Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump himself, they are calling for the Fed to lower rates. This pumping of the brakes, like you pointed out, based purely on confusion and volatility driven by the Trump administration's own economic agenda, they're not going to bend over and, be Chuck Schumer and let Donald Trump do whatever he wants. I mean, I see this as a positive sign in terms of checks and balances, the levers of power in Washington. And to anyone at home who's a card-carrying member of the resistance, something like that, I think you should look at this and say, oh, okay, the sky isn't falling. We will still have a country at the end of all of this.
Yeah.
Democracy is operating the way it's supposed to operate.